Hi, and welcome once again to Cooking for the Yum of It. Today I am going to be doing a roasted beets, which I can use either as a side vegetable dish for a steak I will be preparing tonight, or also as part of a beet salad. I'll be doing both, and let's get started. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is make the vinaigrette to go with the beet salad. And for that, I'm going to start by finely chopping. I have quite a few shallots, but I'm going to start with this one for the salad dressing, the vinaigrette I'm making. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but although she wouldn't eat onions because she had a very sensitive stomach, my grandmother, we've discovered, could tolerate shallots. So I learned to cook quite a few things. I'm going to get a different knife, using shallots instead of onion. Now, chop these just as finely as we can. Ooh. They're not as strong as far as making you cry as onions are, but they will make you weep a little. Excuse me. Let me see, I need one. Oh, what the hell, use them all. Use them all. Put it in the... Next, I'll be using 6 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, the next ingredient is 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar, although you can also use sherry vinegar or fresh lemon juice. We only need 2 tablespoons of this. Now give me 1 minute, please. Now the third and final ingredient is Dijon Mustard. I know there will be some people out there that will recoil in horror that I am using French's Dijon, but I want to cook good food, but I also want to cook it on a budget. I am a poor person. And really, can anyone really tell the difference? Okay. Now we put our lid all in and give it a good shake. Let me take a little taste here. That's kind of tasty. Anyway, this will be going into the refrigerator until later, and now let's get started on the next part. Okay, here we have our beets, and I've trimmed off all but 1 inch of the tops, And I made sure I've cleaned them as thoroughly as I could, because if you don't, it's going to taste like mud. So we take our beets and we place them here in our slow cooker. Cover, plug in the slow cooker. Now we will go manual, temp on high, and start. Now they will be done in approximately 3 hours. Now it's time to get stuff ready while we're waiting for the beets to cook, to start prepping the ingredients for the steak. I don't know how to pronounce that. If anyone could leave in the comments the phonetic pronunciation of Poivre. It's a steak recipe of Julia Child. But we need to chop up another shallot. Oh, excuse me. Like I said, it's not as strong as onion, but it will still make you cry. Ooh! What I need to do for the next time I prepare something with onions or shallots in it is get myself like some swimming goggles or something. I used to do this back when I was living in Germany. I liked to cook back then as well. I would use some ski goggles because I did a lot of skiing, and when I was living in Berlin I was a member of a after-school youth group called Club Beyond, and every year they sponsored a trip to Switzerland for the members to go skiing. I have skied the Swiss Alps. Long time ago though. Now the next ingredient we need to get ready in advance is 1/4 cup of brandy. Now the recipe I'm following, it's 1/4 cup of cognac, but cognac was like 3 times the price of brandy, and from the research I've done, brandy is to cognac as sparkling white wine is to champagne. It can only be called cognac if it comes from the cognac region of France. Otherwise, apparently, brandy has the very same flavor. We are also going to need 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter. Now, I was just remembering, brandy is, like I said, it's not cognac. It's only costs 1/3 the amount, and the flavor is the same. But I was just thinking, one of the things my mother used brandy for, that was the secret ingredient when she would make chocolate chip cookies. Wesley Toll House cookies, she actually called them. My Aunt Kathy, if she's watching this, might be able to back me up on it. It's the same recipe as the Nestle Toll House cookies that you'll find on the back of the chocolate chips. She just added a shot of brandy to the mixture. And she always used E&J brandy. Okay, now another ingredient I need for the steak is, well, the recipe called for 1 tablespoon of peppercorns, but I was not able to find them at the grocery store. So a suitable substitute, I did my research online, is would be about 3/4 tablespoon of ground black pepper. So I will be setting that aside along with the brandy and the onions. The rest of the ingredients for the steak, the butter, And the half and half I'm keeping in the refrigerator until it's time, because I don't want them to go bad if they're left out of the refrigerator any longer than absolutely necessary. So let's take a little trip into the future and get to the next step. Now, the next step with the steaks is to set them out on a plate so they can come up to room temperature. Once that's done, I'm going to take some paper towels and dry the steak so that because if you don't, it's true, the meat will not brown properly. So I'll see you in an hour. Now what we're going to do is first we take some of the pepper and we rub it into the steak as best we can. And we flip this over. Oh, I didn't mention it, but one of the things you're going to want to do is dry the meat to make sure it browns properly with some paper towels, because if you don't dry the meat, it won't brown. Okay, we still have some pepper left over, so let's put a little bit more on the other side again. There we go. Now let's take another little leap through time. Okay, now we're going to start getting the steaks ready. First we need to bring the pan up to medium-high, which I'm going to say is somewhere between 6 and 7. And we bring 1/2 tablespoon of good old virgin, extra virgin olive oil. Set that aside. Get the oil to try to now this is a tricky part. It's one of those exact art, subtle science deals with the art of cooking. Thank you, Professor Snape. You need to wait until the oil nearly starts to smoke, but not before it smokes, just nearly. So let's get everything ready for when it's ready. And I don't know if you'll be able to hear me very well over the kitchen fan, but I will try to make myself heard. Okay, I think it's about ready now. So let's take a look. We're going to sear these for 3 minutes on on this side, and then flip them around to do 3 minutes on the other side. So I'll see you in about 6 minutes. Okay, that was the first 3 minutes done. So don't worry about this black. That is a little bit seared, I suppose. Let me turn this down a bit. Maybe I do have it up a bit high. I'll turn that to 6. But I think that's also the black pepper that I rubbed in there pretty good. Now once this is done, I need to transfer the meat to a separate plate keep it warm. So I'll put it on a plate near the burner I'm using. And once that's done, I will be pouring off all of the oil from the pan before I add the butter and the other ingredients to make the sauce that will be going on the steaks. Now I'm using the Julia Child method, of course. This will make it, according to the recipe I'm following, if it works out the way it's supposed to, making it a medium rare. I do like a bit of blood in my meat. I don't want it mooing, but I do want to know that it was once alive. So give me a few minutes and we'll go on to the next step. Okay, the steaks are now off the heat. I'm going to give it a little bit of salt. I'm using, this is what, ground Himalayan pink salt, courtesy of my roommates. Looks like good meat. Too much. Salt is good, but too much, it just spoils it. It's like drinking seawater if you put too much salt on. Okay, now we add the butter. Let's turn the heat down to medium, I believe. Let's get some of those brown bits up. Little extra flavor nuggets. Give me a minute here. Now we add the beef stock. And we boil that down. Just give me a minute here. We add our brandy. Remember, brandy is to cognac what sparkling white is to champagne. It's the same thing, only brandy does not come from the cognac region of France. I'll let that cook for about 3 minutes to get to remove the alcohol, so we're only left with the flavor. Okay, now we've turned off the heat And we'll be adding our 1/4 cup of half and half. Now while we're waiting for that to set, just give me a minute here. Okay, now we're going to be pouring our sauce over the steak. See how lovely that looks. Whoop. Yeah, that's why we have sponges and paper towels and all sorts of cleaning instruments in case we have little accidents in the kitchen. I'm doing the best I can, but obviously I am not a professional cordon bleu certified level chef. Okay, now I'm going to take one of our beets, although I will be doing this for all of them. Let me take a little knife here. Oh, that's the wrong knife. And we peel off the skin. See how lovely and red that looks? I'm going to be doing this for all of the beets before I put them on the plate, but I'm not going to make you sit through and watch all of that, so let's jump ahead again into the future. Now here we have 3 tablespoons of melted butter with 1 tablespoon of chives and 1 of dill. We're going to use that to coat the beets. Pour that in there. Now let me set up the next camera angle. Okay, now we're going to toss the beets in the herbs and butter to get them as evenly coated as possible. Oh, these look so good and they smell wonderful. Okay, I think that's about it. So let's go on. And there you have it, a steak with roasted beets that were roasted in my slow cooker. Oh, the steak cooked to perfection, medium rare, just the way I like it. I'll get another piece of this. Need to sharpen my knives. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, very good. Now I'm going to try one of the beets. Now, like I said, I'm not a big beet fan. But the butter, the chives and the dill do give it a very good flavor. Definitely have to say I would make this again. So anyway, that's the steak with beets. I hope you like, subscribe, and comment. And until next time, always remember, eat and enjoy. See you next time.